So this video is to show you how to do the drawstring backpack sample. You're going to need a piece of 7" by 7" square of fabric, and then you're going to need one strip of fabric that's 8 inches long by 1.5 inches wide. On the step 1, it tells you to fold the 8-inch piece in half right sides together and pin together. So what that means is that this is the right side and this is the wrong side. If you have pieces that are double-sided that look the same on both sides, just pick a side and then draw a W on with a pen or a pencil or something, okay? So then you're going to take your pieces and you're going to fold it in half right sides together. So I'm going to put, that means you're going to put the right sides together like this. Now if you notice, sometimes on the piece it gets cut a little bit crookedly, so if it's cut crookedly like that, you're going to get your scissors and you're just going to go ahead and even that out so that it's nice and straight, okay? So once you have your pieces together, it tells you to pin them together. So you can just take a couple pins like this. It also helps if you iron it at this step, like iron it together. I'm not going to do it because this one was already ironed for me, but you can go take it over and iron it. Alright, so when you have it like this, it says line the edge up along the 1/8 inch on the cover plate and then sew each long side and leave the short side open. So you're going to be sewing here and here, and you're not going to sew up here, and this is folded so it doesn't need to be sewed either. So you're going to get up on your machine and you're going to look on your cover plate and you're going to see a 1/8 inch section right there. It's very, very small, okay? Now, you're going to line your long side up right there and you're going to put the presser foot down. You don't want to start right at the very, very edge. Start maybe like 1/8 of an inch down there. And you just keep it lined up right here. So you're sewing really close to the edge. If you have a struggle with this and it's just not working for you and you keep trying it and keep trying it, it's not working, go ahead and just scoot it over and go ahead and just sew it with the edge lined up with the edge of the presser foot. It'll be a little bit smaller than the cord holder is supposed to be, but it'll still work out for you, okay? So go ahead and try the 1/8 inch, and if that's not working, just go ahead and line it up with the edge of the presser foot, and that's about a 1/4 inch right there. So we're just going to line it up at the 1/8 inch. We're going to sew forward just a little bit, like maybe 3 or 4 stitches. We're going to hold the reverse lever down and go back a few stitches, and then we just keep going all the way down. When you get close to a pin, you want to stop and take it out because we don't want to accidentally get any of those pins stuck in the machine. So we're just going to keep going all the way down like this. And then you hold the reverse lever and you go back just a little bit, and then you go forward, and then you're done with the one side. You want to cut. It's important that you clip those threads so that they're small, because if they get too long, sometimes they can get caught in the machine. Now you can see that that seam allowance right there, so the space from the stitches to the edge, is really, really small, okay? So like I said, if you're struggling with this, feel free to line it up with the edge of the presser foot, and so then it'll be a little bit bigger for you, okay? So now I'm going to flip it over, line it back up with that 1/8. Make sure I put the presser foot down. It's important that you put that down. If you don't put it down, it won't sew very well. And then you just go forward a little bit, back a little bit. Keep it lined up with that 1/8. Okay. So notice how I did the back stitch at the end there, even though I didn't say I did it, but that's what I did. So we want to clip those extra threads here, and then your piece is going to look like this. Then you're going to take either a pencil, sometimes I like to use my seam ripper. If it's too small and nothing's working, I have these tiny dowels in the center drawer of my desk, and you can ask the sub if you could borrow one, as long as you promise to return it. They look almost like chopsticks, and you just take it in the edge here and you push it, and they're like, why are you doing it in the closed edge? Just watch. As I push it and roll the fabric over, it's going to turn right side out like this. And then you just take your seam ripper, whatever you're using, and you want to poke those corners out so they're nice and neat. Don't leave the edges rounded. Okay. Then it's going to look like this. All right. And at this step, you want to iron it flat. I'm going to forego ironing for the sake of the video, but I want you to iron it at this step. Then you're going to take your edges, you're going to tuck them in like this. Okay. And will you grab me that backpack right there? You're going to take your edges, you're going to tuck the edges in like this, and then just hang on to that. And then when you tuck them in like this, you want to iron this, okay? So I'm going to skip ironing for the video, but you need to iron this part right here. Then you're just going to line the edge up with the 1/8 again, and you're going to sew it at the 1/8. And again, if you're having problems with the 1/8 or your machine gets stuck, you want to rethread your machine and then try sewing it at the 1/4 instead, okay? So you're just going to go forward, and you're going to go back. Ooh, what's up with that? It's kind of, mine's getting stuck for me here. That happens. It's getting stuck. Just cut it. Try to flip it over and do it on the other side. Sometimes it'll get stuck when the fabric's a little bit thick, okay? I'm going to try it again. Ooh, looks like my needle bent. That's not good. Okay, so my needle bent and stuck here, but you get the idea. So you're just going to sew that and do your back stitching and sew it closed here. And what this is going to end up being in your backpack is this part right here that is going to hold the cord in there. So this is an example of the drawstring backpack, and what we're making right now is going to be the cord holder. Okay, so that's it for that step.